I'm Nathan Walls with Surrey on the Go. I'm here in front of the new Surrey County Detention Center on April 4th, 2022. This is our first video we're recording for Surrey on the Go, Surrey County government's new streaming app and government access channel. We're on Surrey TV and Spectrum Cable, and you can also download us on Roku, Fire, and Apple TV. You can watch us on YouTube, and you can watch us online as well as Facebook. Again, we're in front of the new Surrey County Detention Center being built by HG Reynolds Construction Company. And we're about to get a walkthrough with Construction Project Manager, Lieutenant Randy Shelton of the Surrey County Sheriff's Office. We're here with Lieutenant Randy Shelton of the Surrey County Sheriff's Office, who's been managing this project on the Sheriff's Office behalf. Lieutenant Shelton, what can you tell us about this project?
Well, we started in August. A couple bad days of weather, but besides that, they've really moved on good, and we're a little bit ahead of schedule.
Good. So we got started in August 2021.
Yes, sir.
It's approximately a $40 million project. What brought us to this point with the old jail?
The old jail held 125 inmates. We was running 200, 250, paying other counties to house inmates. So about 5.5 years ago, we started discussing to build a new one.
Right, okay. And so we were overpopulated in the old jail. We needed to grow. We're here now in 2022. How long do you think this project will take to be completed?
They got to July of 23. Okay. Right now we're looking maybe February or March being completed and handed over.
That's great. How many beds will this new facility have?
This one houses 361 inmates.
Okay. And what are the features of this building to include, you know, female, male cells, CCOM,
well, all the cells is two-man cells, meaning we can lock the doors. There's no open bay dorms. The added features of this one, we have multi-purpose rooms where we can hold future classes, maybe do some instructional stuff through the colleges with the inmates. We have CCOM here. We have the magistrate's office here on site now.
That's great. So how will this improve the livability for the inmates and safety for the Sheriff's Office detention officers?
Well, there'll be no more on the floors or overpopulated areas. All the housing areas will meet our needs to give us classification process of how we house inmates to make it much safer for inmates and for officers.
Okay, good, good. So I guess the Sheriff's Office is pretty excited about having this to help with law enforcement needs?
Extremely. It can't open fast enough.
Good, good. All right, well, let's take a walk through it. So Lieutenant Shelton, what are we looking at behind us?
This is a female dormitory. It'll hold 31 inmates. Okay. There'll be 16 cell blocks.
Okay.
15 of them holding 2 inmates in it, and then there's 1 handicapped cell block.
All right. And so you were telling me earlier, cells are within dorms?
Yes, there's dormitories, which is the whole housing unit. Okay. And then inside there, each cell is broke down to 2-man cells.
Okay. Now this looks really tall. Is this going to be 2 stories, or how can you describe it for me?
Well, the jail is considered 1 story, but there's 2 rows of housing, an upper floor and a lower floor.
Okay, so just have a stairwell or an elevator going up the second floor?
Stairwell, steps going up to the upper level.
Okay, I gotcha. And how many female cells will the new detention center have?
It'll hold 62 total females, 31 in each one.
Okay. And females only here and males only in the others?
Correct.
Right?
They got to be out of sight, out of sound.
Okay. Lieutenant Shelton, if you can explain to me how inmates would enter the facility.
The arresting agency will come in the main entrance drive. As they come to the bottom of the hill, there'll be the main gate. We will open that gate, which allows them to pass through. They'll circle this sally port area and come in the garage door. And once they pull in, the garage door is shut, and then they can exit with their inmate to enter the building.
All right, Lieutenant Shelton, if you can walk us through the process of how an inmate will be booked and the process they'll go through.
Okay, once they enter into this area, the magistrate's office will be right behind me.
Right here.
So the arresting officer will take them before the magistrate. The magistrate will decide if there's a possible crime, and then he'll set the bond and decide if they need to be in jail or a bond set for them.
Okay.
If a bond is set, Then the arresting officer will bring them back. There'll be a door right behind me, and that's when they present them to the jail.
Okay. And if someone's pulled over for a potential drunk driving charge, there's a breathalyzer area back
There is
here also?
the second door on the left will be the breathalyzer room. So all that test will be performed there.
Lieutenant Shelton, what's behind these doors?
These are more holding cells. This gives us the ability to separate female from the males. And also if we don't have females and we've got a disruptive inmate comes in, we can put them in one of these locations to keep them separate from the other males.
Gotcha. Okay. And then the full body scanner, which will go at this location.
Yeah, it'll be placed in that little hallway there. Inmates will be scanned as soon as they come in for any contraband or weapons or anything like that.
Lieutenant Shelton, so will this area be a one-stop shop to get the inmates fully booked and housed here in the new detention center?
Yeah, everything will be done here. The medical screening, booking, we change them out into the jumpsuits. Everything is in this area.
Okay. And how does the new way of doing it that you just described compare to what's currently taking place?
Currently, we haven't used our old area there as housing units, so we got inmates everywhere.
Okay. So it's scattered, it lacks efficiency. This will make it much easier.
It'll be a smooth process. The arrestee will spend very limited time here. We'll move you through fairly quick and get you in a housing unit. Okay, this area right here is a little sally port that connects admin offices to the security side or inmates. So in this area, this will be the last check for any weapons that we carry to make sure we get them put up, ammo, anything like that. We would stop right here before we would enter.
Lieutenant Shelton, I see we've got some PVC back here that'll cover some data lines for the new 911 communication center. Can you tell us a little bit about this large facility 911 will be able to operate in?
Yeah, this area will house the main console room where they answer the calls. Then they have the all the data will come into this. There'll be room for that, and then they have a big EEOC meeting room.
Okay. And I know earlier you told me about a break room and some offices they'll have over here with large windows.
Yeah, there'll be a break room here, and then on the other side of the wall, they've got 4 offices, a bathroom.
Right. Okay. And earlier, Lieutenant Shelton, you told me while this is technically in the same building as the detention center, there's safety to protect inmates from the employees and vice versa.
Yeah, there'll be a secured part of the wall where CCOM can't enter the jail part, and jail part can't get over into this part. And it's all for security reasons.
Lieutenant Shelton, tell us about the outdoor rec yard regulations.
A year or so ago, the state put in a mandate that every dormitory has to have an indoor-outdoor rec yard, meaning the top is open so fresh air and all can come into it.
Okay.
This back wall in all the dorms you'll see will be a window with a door entrance into the rec yard. That allows sunlight comes in, because another state code is inmates has to be able to tell if it's day or night.
Right. Gotcha. And you said there'll be 47 cells in here?
47 inmates can house in here, so
okay.
So 24 cells.
Okay. And when the cells are being constructed, you said it'll almost look like Lego blocks being constructed.
Yes, sir. They will put them together out there in the rec yard, and just like putting Legos together, and they will wheel it in against the wall here on the right and set them in place.
Okay. And Lieutenant Shelton, we plan on getting footage of those cells going in, like Lego work, here on Surrey on the Go. Wow, Lieutenant Shelton, we've got a great bird's eye view from here. What are we looking at?
This is what the upper tower will be, control room. We'll have 2 offices in here, the 6-man dormitories and the 2 seg units for males. These 2 officers will be able to watch it all from right here.
That's great. We'll have a lot of electronics up here too, I guess?
Some, not a lot. We want them focused on just the dorms.
Okay, gotcha.
Now the control panel, they'll pop every door open. All that'll be controlled in here, so that part will be.
Gotcha. And tell me about the number of cell blocks we'll have for the men.
Okay, there's 6 male housing units, 47 in each one of them.
Okay.
And then there's 2 segregation units that has 8 cells in them. They will be single cells. That's our disciplinary, any problems we have with the inmate, that's where they'll be housed.
Gotcha. So the bad apples will be in those.
Correct, yes, sir.
Gotcha. And the females say it's 2 cell blocks?
They have 2 cell blocks, yeah, 31 inmates in each one of those.
Okay. All
Now,
right.
one thing we're going to do different in these compared to the old one, each dorm will be color coded. So the inmate jumpsuit is going to match the color in the dorm.
Easier to color coordinate and keep everybody
Yeah,
organized.
if you look in here and see a blue jumpsuit and a yellow dorm, we got a problem.
Good deal. So is that something the Sheriff's Office came up with, or State Department of Public Safety, or
Actually,
what?
one of the workers building this mentioned it at another jail, and I'm like, didn't understand it. He explained it. I'm like, that makes a lot of sense. Much easier on our officers, plus the inmates.
So fairly new idea and some innovation here at the Surry County Sheriff's Office New Detention Center. Lieutenant Shelton, tell me how you're going to separate inmates in terms of the crime they've committed here.
Well, there's a classification process where basically the bad check writer is not housed with a murderer or a very violent crime individual. All that's housed separately.
Right. Okay. So you might color coordinate where a murderer would go, and a white collar criminal,
Yes, sir.
and somebody who trespassed.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay. Great. Well, folks, that's all for today. Again, it's April 4th, 2022. We want to take you into the Surry County Detention Center in future weeks and months leading up to its opening. We're so glad you joined us. Be sure to tune into this and other programming on Surry on the Go.